Today's episode is sponsored by Bright Cellars. Bright Cellars is a wine subscription box service, and there is one specific reason that I really love using Bright Cellars, and that is this. There's actual wine education inside the box, and you guys know how I feel about education. You are being educated on the wines that you like, and you can really understand why you like those wines, what those flavor profiles are, and a little bit more about it, which going deep on these things is really my cup of tea. And now with the holidays coming up, Bright Cellars is gonna stock you up on your wine. So if you wanna bring wine to a party, or whether you have a bunch of people in your house over the holidays, you're always gonna be stocked up on wine. And that is a good thing, because then you won't have to run out to the store, wait in a really long line, or find out that they don't have your wine preferences in stock. Thank you again to Bright Cellars for giving my followers a limited time offer of $50 off their first 6-bottle box. Click the link in the description to get started.
So at the moment we are at Himkok, Storgata Bryggeri og Distillery in Oslo. My name is Sebastian Sandvik and I'm the head bartender here at Himkok, and have been it for the last year after COVID. My responsibilities is basically people that work here, training of new staff, training of staff that we have, and also making the menu for our cocktail program. Himkok has been open since 2015, Friday the 13th to be exact. I've been working here since end of 2017, so a little bit over 4 years now. Been doing everything from being a bar back, cleaning glasses, to being a bartender in the cider bar. And then we have a tap-tail bar, which is more a high volume bar, which I've been working in quite a lot, which can serve up to 2,000 cocktails per night. And then we have the distillery bar where we sit right now, where I've been working as a waiter and also senior bartender, and now a head bartender here at Himkok. We also do have a distillery. Because of Norwegian law, the distillery and the bar is two separate companies within the same building. And when the bar is open, we sadly cannot walk into the distillery. So we are a bar, but we also have a distillery. We have 3 different bars at the moment at Himkok. We also do have a 4th bar, which we only use for pop-ups or when other guest bartenders come. I think it's something that is fairly unique, like having a distillery in a bar as well is quite unique, but also having space for other bartenders to come and do their own thing. I always liked experimenting with flavors. Becoming a bartender was something I did on the side of school. So I started working in bars when I was 18 years old. I was working in a small nightclub, I would say, up in northern parts of Norway, in Vodka, and then found the love or passion for cocktails, I would say. So I started working in a hotel bar up north. And my previous bar manager asked me to come down to Oslo and open a new place here. Opened that place, that went well, but then I saw there was a position here at Himkok. So yeah, I decided to take a leap of faith and come here and try this out, and been loving it and love it. Himkok have been quite a big part of making the cocktail culture here in Oslo. I wrote a paper when I did my sommelier exam on fortified wines and spirits and the fortified wine culture of Norway for the past 10 years, where I got some numbers from Himkok from when we first opened until 2019. The amount of fortified wines, for example, that you sell in cocktails now is, I think it's 400% more now than it was earlier. So people start to like more boozy style cocktails, I would say now, more than before, of course. I am a sommelier. The only reason I wanted to do it was because I wanted to explore flavors more. I did it also to become a better bartender. Influence of me being a sommelier is that I tend to like to make, at least for myself or for some of my guests, a little bit more low ABV cocktails. The influence of using fortified wines in cocktails, and maybe only use fortified wines, I think can be quite nice, at least in the beginning of the night when you want something more light and delicate in flavor profile than something straight on hard and boozy. So every bartender here at Himkok is a part of making the menu for the cocktails that we do, some a little bit more than others. Everybody has a say in the end product that we sell in-house. It's a menu that is made basically by everybody in-house. The menu changes only once a year. So we make 13 different cocktails. We have a set range of how we make them and what styles we do with them. But the profile of the cocktails is always Nordic or Norwegian. So you will always have Norwegian flavors that you have in the cocktails. And that also will be the main flavor for most of the cocktails that we do in-house. Per year, we also take one cocktail for most years that we put on a classic list, that we call it, so that people can have something from the previous year to reminisce on. Since we changed menus once a year, we have a new theme for the menu every year. The last year, the theme of the menu have been NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. So every cocktail has also been sold as a NFT. Previous year we have had cabin trip, so everything that you can find around a Norwegian cabin. And also our folk suit, the bunad, have also been a part of the menu. So we have different herbs or different berries or different things that grow in the different areas of the different bunad or the different folk suits as a flavor component. People who started Himkok, Maros is now the bar manager of Himkok. Odd Strandbakken, which was the previous head bartender. Monica Berg, which now is part of Thayer Elementary in London. You have Alex Ruas, which makes one of the best bars setups in the world now, called Behind Bars. They were also a part of Tap Tales, which is what we call the cocktails that we have upstairs. They're cocktails on draft. You have Thomas Stenbeck, a senior bartender here. A lot of really good bartenders that have always been a part of Himkok. So Himkok means moonshine, and it's one of the oldest words for moonshine in Norwegian. We have a snake also on our logo, which is the Norwegian viper, the only poisonous snake in Norway that has a 60% chance of giving you poison. And if it gives you poison, it feels like you have a bad hangover. The snake is also the symbol for pharmacy. We have used that. It's also been a pharmacy where I'm sitting right now. The building that Himkok is in have been here since 1876, so it's really old. So it's been a lot of things. The pharmacy, it's been a painter shop, it's been a fur shop, and it's even been a female prison. Himkok is based in city center of Oslo. We have quite a dodgy neighborhood, I would say, at least a little bit further down. A lot of traffic with the police going on. We also have a lot of younger people starting to live here. So it's a bar for everybody. We're not the most expensive bar in Oslo either, and something that we want everybody to try out. So the ice program is something we started end of 2018, 2019. We produce our own clear ice. So we have a machine that's called a Kleinbill machine. That is basically two big bathtubs that we fill with water, 250 liters in each container. So there's two in one machine. You have directional freezing, so you are freezing from the bottom and up. And we also use pumps to circulate the water. We just use regular tap water, and it's basically like a reversed river. So you have the freezing going from the bottom and up in layers, which takes away the minerals and also the oxygen from the ice. And you can basically leave it to go almost all the way to the top before you have to cut it off, because if you don't, you get a thin layer of unclear ice. And then we cut it by motor saw and chainsaw into the different sizes that we want. And we produce around 1,500 blocks of ice and 1,800 sticks of ice per week. And at the moment, we go through quite a lot because we are quite a high volume bar, even though we only have 50 seats in our bar. So from 2018, 2019 was when we first started using blocks or sticks of ice or the shape we want. Before that, we only used quite good ice machine from Hoshisaki and used that for basically all the serves we had in-house. So we had to have two of them to go through a shift or service. But with the use of the block ice, it's also quite nice for the cocktail, not only for the serve of the cocktail and how it looks, but also it helps with keeping the drink cold and also not diluting it too much when you sit and drink it. It's also really nice for highballs where you soda or you carbonate the whole drink, because it keeps the bubbles for a little bit longer as well. We did not make blocks or sticks or anything, or we didn't put anything in the freezer and just hoped for the best. We just use regular ice cubes that you use for shaking or stirring. Norway is a little bit behind, I would say, on a lot of things regarding drinks and also food and culture. So in the beginning, when we started using clear ice, people only saw a big block of ice and thought they got super small cocktail. And now people understand more and more. We sort of us and a lot of other bars had to educate people on the use of this. And now people tend to appreciate it, at least. So the drinks I want to make today is one from the first menu, one from 2 menus ago, and one from this menu. So the first drink I'm making for you is a drink from our first menu called Holy Smokes. You start off with 45 ml peaty whiskey or smoky whiskey. Same measures of sweet vermouth, adding 3 dashes of chocolate bitters. Then you stir it for around 8 to 10 seconds. It really develops quite nicely in the glass. Putting our Himkok logo on top, draining the cocktail into the glass with a little bit of orange. And there you have it, the Holy Smokes. So the next drink I'm making for you is a drink we had 2 menus ago, Hyttetur, or trip to the cabin. So we wanted to implement a toddy aspect. So we're starting off with a little bit of cold brew coffee with an orange sherbet, blackcurrant jam, tiny bit of sugar and water, and then ending up with 40 ml of Michter's US1 bourbon. Stir it for quite short. You don't need a lot of dilution before serving it in a chilled coffee mug or coffee cup with a block of ice inside the glass. Bit of lemon zest, coffee and blackcurrant for you. The next cocktail is from our menu that we have right now. It's called Cloudberry. It's a Vesper Martini variation with some gin, a little bit of vodka, Mancino Abrato, Martini Florale, which is a non-alcoholic blanc vermouth, cloudberries, and a little bit of birch water. And that's a cloudberry. So the last drink I'm making for you guys today as well is a cocktail from our current menu, some gin and Fino sherry. Next is a clear cut. It's 11 different minerals and acids that is put together to have the same pH and mouthfeel as lime without tasting of citrus. Snap pea cordial, which is launched sugar snap peas. A quick dry shake. Fine strain into a Nicanora, and then at the end garnish with a nice green fresh sugar snap pea. Enjoy.